This is TWiT.
So the DOJ and the FBI, during a press conference yesterday, criticized Apple yet again over encryption. And boy, this was it was a weird comment that I'll highlight here. I just didn't want to, we know what it's about. I just didn't want to fail to touch on the fact that William Barr, who, of course, is the current head of the U.S. Department of Justice, announced, and I thought this was interesting, that FBI technicians had finally, after 4 months and, quote, much expenditure of taxpayer dollars, unquote, managed to crack and gain access to the 2 locked iPhones belonging to last December 6 Pensacola Naval Air Base shooter Mohammed Saeed al-Shamrani. During the press conference, FBI's Director Christopher Wray criticized Apple for not helping its investigators to unlock the 2 phones. Wray said the entire process of cracking the terrorists' 2 iPhones took 4 months and, quote, large sums of taxpayer dollars. So they were both harping on this. Now,
where'd that money go, do you think?
Exactly, Leo. Since actual cracking itself doesn't cost anything more than the time and skill, either the FBI techs were extremely well paid during this arduous past 4 months, or more likely, the FBI went outside to purchase the golden keys for those 2 iPhones. And remember that one of the two phones had been shot by al-Shamrani. I was amazed when we first talked about this that they were able to get it going again. It's like,
must have missed.
You could shoot an iPhone and it still lights up.
You missed the
That's
memory.
Amazing. In any event, the DOJ said that following the FBI's success, they were able to link al-Shamrani to an al-Qaeda branch active in the Arabian Peninsula, which I guess is no surprise because, those were his people. William Barr said, we now have a clearer understanding of al-Shamrani's associations and activities in the years, months, and days leading up to the attack. And I should clarify that this guy was sort of on base for some training.
Yeah, he was a Saudi
here in the
national,
US.
right? To be trained. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Anyway, however, FBI Director Wray said that the investigation could have advanced sooner if Apple had helped the FBI's technicians. Wray said that despite public pleas from both President Trump and Attorney General Barr, Apple did not cooperate in the investigation. But then, in an immediate contradiction, Christopher Wray continued, quote, Apple made a business and marketing decision to design its phones in such a way that only the user can unlock the contents.
Shocking.
No matter the circumstances.
Shocking.
Apple's desire to provide privacy for its customers is understandable, but not at all costs. So first he's complaining that Apple refused to cooperate with this specific case despite pleas from top administration officials. And with the next breath, he's complaining that Apple chose to design their phones in such a way that it was impossible for them to comply. So I think we need to read this nonsense as the continuing drumbeat toward the inevitable collision of consumer encryption technology and legislation, which will somehow criminalize the use or the sale, probably, because I doubt you're going to blame the user, of subpoena-proof encryption. We might imagine that this could take the form, for example, of some spiffy penalty legislation where, for example, any manufacturer of a consumer electronics device produced for sale within the United States will have 30 days to comply with a lawfully issued subpoena to decrypt and provide all data contained within the device to law enforcement, after which a significant fine, who knows, perhaps some percentage of that company's annual revenue would be, so that it sort of auto scales to the size of the company, would be levied against the company for each additional day beyond the initial 30 days that the device's decrypted contents are not provided to law enforcement. I'm just making that up. And of course, that would be for devices beginning to be sold after some certain date, so that companies had some opportunity to change the way they have decided to have their devices operate. I did like the EFF, who, as always, weighed in, noting that the very fact that the FBI was able to crack the iPhones to obtain all of its information argued against the need for any change to the existing status quo. So thank you, EFF, for always being there. Oh, boy. So anyway, again, I mean, they wanted to announce their victory and to also pound Apple over the head and also, drive another stake into the whole encryption debate.